good. Okay, meeting of March 4th, 2015. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Then we take the roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Here.
Council Members Evans.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Sheffica.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Here. Everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silent prayer thereafter. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, posted in Town Hall and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk on December 30, 2014. There are two emergency exits on the wall. One to my right will take you out to the front of the building, and another to my left that will take you to the rear parking lot. All cell phones must be turned off. If you need to make a call, kindly make a call outside. We'll check your phones now. Before we get started on the ceremony, we have our decade guests here tonight. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. I read your report. You guys are outstanding. We'll get to you in a moment. But before we do that, I'm going to start with a council report. Deputy Mayor Garofalo, you have anything for us tonight?
Just two items. I know that last meeting I reported that the New Jersey Sustainable Energy Fund was going out to bid for natural gas. For those of you who don't know, the SEM is a banding of 200 municipalities across the state, to which Ocean Township was a charter member, which band together to buy electricity and natural gas. Had a very successful auction. We will continue to receive 20% savings on our natural gas purchases, which will help in budgeting. But also in the 4 years that the SEM has been together, it has saved these 200 municipalities across the state of New Jersey $20 million in utility costs. And it's all done for a little bit of sweat equity on my part, and $150 I think was our original buy-in. So it's a great program. I'm very proud of it. Secondly, later on in the meeting, we will be introducing our budget. I know Mayor Siciliano has a report on that. I don't want to steal any of his thunder, but I do want to say that, again, the mayor and myself and the professionals worked very hard on this budget. And we have to look back and give thanks to the leadership of Mayor Larkin, who guided this township through some very, very difficult times. One of the worst recessions in the country, New Jersey, one of the last states to pull out of it. Tax appeals like crazy, 2 major storms without blinking, and set the structure that we are now able to lay our basis on. And to go forward, to stabilize the tax rate for this year and for years going. The framework was set, and we will now build upon it. And Mayor Siciliano will add more to that in his report.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman Sheffica, you have a report for us, please?
Yes, I have a couple things tonight. I have 2 contests that are going on in Ocean Township through the mayor's office. The first one is a scholarship program that the New Jersey State League of Municipalities is offering to New Jersey juniors and seniors. We have joined with the league this year, and it's called the Lewis Bay Second Future Municipal Leaders Scholarship. This is a state scholarship competition centered on the theme, what my municipal government does best, and seeks to advance the virtues of elected and volunteer members of municipal government. Many of the elected officials and appointed board members serve the Township of Ocean with little or no compensation. It is their desire to serve their community. They give their time and talents to help plan our community and preserve our way of life. They serve us year-round, every day, and yet they are hardly noticed. This scholarship competition will help rectify that while encouraging our future municipal leaders. In order to find the application and more information, go to www.oceantwp.org, and in the middle of the page you'll find the information on the scholarship. Fill it out and write your essay. No grades are necessary, and they come to Chris, Mayor Siciliano, and while he gets them, he will go through them with, I guess, another council member, and we will decide who moves on into the state competition. And once you're at the state competition, there will be 3 winners chosen, and the 3 will get $1,000 each. And they will get notoriety. It'll be on television, it'll be in the League of Municipalities bulletin, and many other ways of advertising it. But there's one problem. They have to be in by March 10th to Mayor Siciliano. You can either email them to him, or you can bring them into his office or to the receptionist downstairs, and they will get it to his office. But the deadline, unfortunately, is March 10th. The next one is our contest for our logo. That deadline isn't until April 1st. We're looking for students for doing an appropriate logo for the Township of Ocean. We will use this logo behind us and probably in front on the dais. Thank you. See, I do have that in my notes here. The governing body will choose the winner on this one. We'll use it also, by the way, on stationery and many other items that. Yeah, because right now we're using the state of New Jersey symbol, and I just think that we can do better and we can have our own symbol, something very creative by the students of Ocean Township. And each grade can put in for it. It doesn't have, there's no limit on grade, age, or anything else. We're just very interested in having the students try their hardest to do something appropriate for Ocean Township, that they feel is appropriate for Ocean Township. Your entries here have to be in by April 1st. The winner will receive a $100 gift card, and then we'll have 2 semifinalists, which will receive $50 each. This should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we get a lot of entries.
Great. Thank you, Donna.
One more thing.
Oh, there's more. I'm sorry.
Just one more. I have to tell you, don't forget St. Patrick's Day on Friday, March 13th at 6:30. We have baskets, we have raffles. We're going to honor 2 very, very, very great people. Our own.
Very, I guess.
Yeah, you got a very tonight. I got tired of saying very. No, very, very nice people, great people. A lot of volunteering. Councilman Mike Evans, and also President of the School Board, Denise Palermis. Now I'm finished.
Great. I know we have some candidates for that Louis E. Bay Award right here in this room, so let's see if we can get some applications in. Before I go with you, Rich, because your report's going to be a little long. Mike, you have something for us?
Just very brief, Mayor. The Office of Emergency Management coordinated a meeting today with all the department heads and 2 fire districts due to the pending storm. So everybody's ready to go, whatever Mother Nature throws at us.
That's right. Good. And Mike's right. We were there. We had a big meeting this afternoon, and I don't want to call him out on it, but our representative from JCP&L is here, Jim Markey. And this is great because never before have we had hands-on like that from a representative, and he's here for support in the unlikely event there's a power outage. Jim's here to support us and assure us that there's always 100 extra men on call, ready to go, and we'll get this thing put to bed as soon as it has to happen. Right, Jim? You heard him, everybody. We're on television. So we can't edit this program.
He's ready.
Councilman Long.
Yes.
Your report, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I have a report this evening that deals with the business roundtable that I attended in Neptune City last Tuesday. I met last week in Neptune City with Freeholder Tom Arnone, John Chiuffo, the Executive Director of Economic Development for Monmouth County, and Amy Fitzgerald, the Director of Monmouth County's Department of Economic Development. I made a presentation to business owners in Neptune City, but there were enough items that were of a generic nature that I could take them and bring them back to the Mayor and Council. The Grow Monmouth initiative is a long-term, community-wide Its objectives include growing businesses, retaining businesses, attracting new businesses, and creating jobs. There were more or less three primary elements of the Grow Monmouth initiative. The first one was the facade improvement program. A business that's located within the town's designated low and moderate income population qualifies for the facade improvement program. It cannot be part of a larger facade improvement program. The improvements include the installation of safety glass, signs attached to buildings, or new awnings. The second element of the program involves business building toolkit. Some of the tools inside that toolkit are lead generation lists for businesses that are either business to business or business to consumers. Research tools such as customized surveys so that businesses can get a feel for how their customers receive their particular services or businesses. And finally, website optimization. They're willing to help a business coming into the township build a website, improve a website. And finally, there is the GIS system, which is the Geographic Information System. This combines cartography with computer hardware and software that identifies zoning, highway, and environmental constraints that towns may have, so the business will know in advance the kinds of things it has to anticipate within a municipality. We look forward to the business roundtable that is scheduled here in this room for Tuesday, May the 5th at 7 p.m.
Great, thank you, Rich, and that's outstanding, because just one more thing we can do to try to help our businesses in town. That segues into perfectly what I'm going to tell you. February 5th, we adopted a resolution for my own ocean program, and that's the property tax rebate, whereas residents will receive a card with a magnetic strip on the back. On that magnetic strip will have your lot and block number. Every time you use this card in town at a participating merchant, you get a credit directed right to your property tax. So essentially, by the end of the year, every time you use it, let's say the first week, you might have $20, $40, $50. At the end of the year, it could add up $400, $500, $1,000. You could actually pay no property tax if you use it that often. And part of that was, the first step was passing a resolution. Second step was to get a sponsor for the cards, because they're expensive. They cost $1 each, and we need 10,000 of them. So through my business contacts, I was able to make a phone call on the first shot. I got lucky, and I got a sponsor for it. Mr. Ray Katina graciously stepped up, and he's going to sponsor the cards for us. So let's cheer for him. I think that's We'll have that in place. The next step is, of course, we're going to send out notification to all our business owners in town. We're going to have a little forum here and introduce them to the program and see who wants to participate, and we'll take it to the next step. So that's outstanding. So listen, businesses can help themselves. You can reduce your tax by shopping in Ocean. It's a win-win for everybody. So it's a great program. Okay, now we're going to get down to we have some award recipients here today. Mr. Cohen brought his group here, the DECA group, who, I read your report here of what you've done, what you've accomplished in the past few weeks. It was outstanding. I mean, the competition was fierce. There was a lot of competition out there. And you guys did it. I mean, I'm going to just read a little bit about it. So, you took the DECA team. Over 2,500 students competed in a new business pitch, consisting of what, over a 60-second pitch and then a 90-second pitch, is that correct?
It was two. It started as a 60, and then the finalists did the 2-minute.
Great. Well, we did really well there. Let me see, we wind up with, we had 18 students in there, and of that 18, we earned 80% of the votes for one of their awards here, their Slice Creamery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to come down right now with the council. We're going to call you up, Mr. Cologne. You can give us a recap of this fantastic year that you're having so far. And then we're going to bring the guys up one at a time. We'll go over the awards. So.
Okay.
Let's go on down here. He's going to come with the microphone. Oh, we have it?
Fantastic.
It's working.
Well, it's been like a wing.
All right, great. Welcome, everybody. Okay, great. So I'm going to put my glasses on, just read a little bit more here, and then we'll let you call the students.
Yes.
because you'll get their names right and I won't, and they always get upset with me.
Is this a good spot for me, or?
That's all right.
You can see you locking this door out.
We can all see it, sir. So DECA has garnered even more honors, and since that award went to internationals, right? So
Yes.
they had 47 finalists, and the 47 academic achievers moved on to the State Career Development Conference in Cherry Hill, is that right?
Yes.
That was great. And so from that, we had business-minded students entered into 12 finalists. One of these 12, Kyle Dorney, came in second place in the state for his entrepreneurship event. That's awesome. Let's hear it for Kyle. And the report goes on to say over the last couple of months, he had a team of Phil Rusumano, Jack Sylvia, Jenny Chavis have been competing in the stock market game, a nationwide challenge that puts students in the shoes of Wall Street's top traders.
They're first in the state.
First in the state now. So who comes up with this concept? Is it just something that's...
Well, DECA has been around since 42?
Yes.
Christian? Yeah. 47. The club's been around a long time. Originally, it was a marketing organization, and students would be involved with that organization. They would learn various skills in marketing. Over the years, it's morphed, and now it's a all-encompassing business club with hospitality, finance, marketing, human resource management. So what happens is over the years, corporations sponsor these events. So at the end, they actually get cash rewards, depending on where they place, if they're top 3 in the country, which we so happen to be in quite a few things.
Yeah, outstanding. I'm looking at that. That's fantastic.
So some of the events we have here today are the stock market game, which we were first in the state. We have virtual business, which is actually an online business simulation. We have the first and the third in the state. First and third in the state here today. We have first in the nation and entrepreneurship. And with that, what they did is they did their business pitch over the course of a weekend, but they only had a few hours to prepare, so it was pretty arduous, the amount of work that they had to do to get to that point. We also have...
Well, you have,
I guess it's a good first world
I put
problem.
this away because you were doing a good job. The virtual business, by the way, that was where they go and they simulate selling tickets, kind of like a ticket run.
There's 4 different ones
That was
that they use.
outstanding.
That was one. That was the sport and entertainment.
Okay, that was a great one. I love that one there. And then you also had in here, let me see. Well, they do the school, of course, the school, I guess the school store, we used to call it?
Oh, we're one of 4 in the state that's actually gold certified. And for that, we've been working on that for quite a long time. They created 50 pages of material where it was 15 different areas that they had to actually summarize our functions in the store. There was finance on there, human resource management, selling, there was vendors on there, and they basically had to analyze each section of that. So there's only 4 in the state, and we're one of those 4, so that's an outstanding achievement. And that we've actually put in each year for the past 4 years, and this was the first year we've actually achieved that level.
That's outstanding. And then you had 17 spots this year at the International Career Development Conference in April. That's in Orlando, Florida.
Yes,
right?
that's next month.
That's next month, so you're bringing a group down there?
We have most of them here now that are going.
So you guys get to travel too? What is it?
It's not that cheap.
Great trip. But that's great. So we recognize all that you guys done. I mean, it's fantastic. I wish I had you on this own ocean program. You could have helped out with that a lot. But without any further ado, we're going to have Mr. Coney to call the recipients up. And right on there, by the way, we have the awards up there.
Oh, fantastic.
So you want to mention that as well? You can.
Well, Kyle Doroni, his award was for the entrepreneurship participating paper. That is actually the company that he owns with Jack Rose, who happens to be here today in the back. They do auto detailing, boat cleaning, anything else, Jack? So I can get you some business.
You're on television.
And you're on TV. I hope your business cards. So Kyle Doroni, come on up. We're going to have Connor come up. This is twin, you'll never know.
Is that for real?
Yes.
Great. Congratulations. We're going to take pictures. So when you guys get your name called and get your award, come on up.
Now, Connor Doroni, who's happened to come around to get this award, he was 3rd in the state in virtual business with Jack Rose, who we'll call up in a little bit. With that, which one did you do? The restaurant? Restaurant management. There's 4 different ones. So for this one, they happened to end up 3rd in the state, running a restaurant, highly profitable, outstanding job. Connor?
Now, this is really Connor.
That's Connor. I don't know the difference either.
Well, he earned that one, he knows it.
This is Kyle.
Is that Kyle?
Yes!
Sorry.
Why would
You pulled him up, not me.
Jack Rose. Jack Rose is coming up for 2 things. He is actually part of the team that's going to represent the school store in our competition that we're going to go to. It's actually a human resource competition. Every year, they take a section of the analysis, and that's going to be what they pick for the actual competition. This year, human resource, Jack Rose, virtual business, and students.
There's only one Jack now, right?
There's only one Jack Rose. And I have to say something. The best thing about all of this, I've known all these students for the past 4 years. So I knew them when they were little teeny boys coming into high school, afraid to speak, afraid to do anything. And now they become men, and they're phenomenal. You have to see them perform. When they turn it on, it's outstanding.
I would have been very interested in hearing that 60-second pitch one day. I'll have to come out.
They're all here. Dean Lamberti, our school store manager, and he actually has probably the hardest, come on up. He has probably the hardest job in the chapter because he runs our school store, which is open every day. And he is the one that spearheads our gold standard, which was the paperwork that we had to do. So he has a lot on his plate. He did phenomenal. Thank you, Dean.
Very good, very good.
The next student that we have coming up, he's actually not only winning an award, but he's running for national office. So hopefully he'll be one of 5 national DECA officers after his campaign at International Career Development Conference, that's the national. And that is Christian Wittick. And he's also on the national entrepreneurship team.
Wow, outstanding. Good job, Christian. Good luck. Good luck, that's outstanding.
We have another member of that team coming up now, Randall McBride. Thank you, Randall.
Good job, Randall. Congratulations. Outstanding, national. That's outstanding.
We have the next member who is actually also on that team, and he's also on the virtual business team that was first in the state, and he is also on the school business enterprise team that's going to hopefully win there too. Matt Spector, come on up.
Great. Good job, Matt. Good job, Tom. Good to ask you guys to spread out a little bit on the right, too. And,
There's 90 students in this club, by the way, so we only brought a handful. Yeah, we have 90 altogether. Our percentages are unbelievable in the state. We have probably the most winningest club.
So I saw you brought 18 to the last competition, is that right?
We brought 46 to the last
46.
competition. And the one before that, we brought 90.
Wow.
And we also have professional members, which if anyone's interested, they can speak to one of the guys, where we actually partner with businesses in town. Because this club, it's a lot of effort from the parents, the students, the Board of Ed. It's nice to have supportive business just for judging, because when they do these events, they're actually judged by business people. And when they're engaging in role plays and things like that, it's nice to have an authentic experience.
Yeah, that's great.
Jack Sylvia is the next one. Stock market game, first in the state. Virtual business, first in the state. First in the nation in entrepreneurship.
The stock market, was it just a game or was it for real?
Oh, it was for real.
What stock should we be purchasing? We'll talk after the meeting.
The next student that I have coming up is on the award-winning stock market game team. And she will be also representing us nationally at ICDC, and that is Jenny Shapis. Come on up. And her brother that she's here with, Eric, was also in DECA.
Nice.
Another one of our
I know that name from somewhere, Chagas. Oh, was there a councilman Chagas?
Yes.
That's great.
And the final one I have here today is Phil Russomano. And Phil Russomanno is stock market game, first in the state, virtual business, first in the state, and just all around good guy.
Good job. Good job. Well, good job to all of you. Good job, Mr. Cohen. It was an outstanding group that you have here on behalf of the town and the council. We want to thank you for that. We recognize all the effort you put into it, and it's great that you get the support that you do from the community. So, like Mr. Cohen said, anybody's interested in helping, please contact them here. But to all you guys, our entrepreneurs, outstanding job. You guys really make us proud. To you stock market champs, come see me after the meeting. Anybody else, it's great. But let's gather in for a picture.
Yeah, come on in here, guys.
Come in toward the front. Come in toward the front. Come in toward the front.
Oh, the one thing. No
Because
more kids in front of the chair.
Come in toward the front.
Oh, Dan Worthington.
You missed somebody.
I'm sorry, we missed someone.
Come on up, Dan.
Dan, wait, hold everything. Dan, tell us your credentials, Dan.
Front treasurer.
He is the treasurer of this whole enterprise. Dan, so sorry, Dan, we missed it. All right. Good job. All right, let's go. Let's squash everybody out.
Hold on, I'm going down.
Got him? Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, at this time, before we get into the business portion of our meeting, I'm going to give all you guys an opportunity. You're welcome to stay, learn a little civic lesson, or if you have a business meeting you have to attend, which evidently they do, they'll let you go. We'll take a quick recess. You got to check the market.
They're out fast.
We're in the company of greatness here tonight, huh? Outstanding. Thank you for coming. Yes, they're outstanding, man. Thank you for bringing them. Mr. Markey, would you have the word for us?
Maybe not, okay.
Just that ambient noise gets picked up on the TV. Okay, we'll just wait on our clerk. We'll be with you in a moment. There he is. We're going to start with that. Okay. The purpose of this public portion is solely to ask questions, understand resolutions and vouchers that appear on this agenda, and is not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not related to an item on this agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. Now we have consent agenda. Oh, first we're going to open up to the public. If anybody has anything they'd like to say, please come on up to the microphone right there and state your name and address. Come on up, Don, please, and identify yourself.
Let me get my ID card. Now, you're talking about just general type stuff as opposed to...
Just
Stuff on
the
the
agenda.
Just- Okay.
Just the agenda.
I was just trying to clarify it.
They want you to face sideways
Use the
now.
microphone, though.
You're on television, Don. I don't know if you've noticed.
I've been on television before, so no big deal. Don Geiger, 1108 Raspberry Avenue. Hi, guys. Smile. No, I'll try it. On the resolution 15-056, the bids for the towing. Now, is that cost recovered somehow? I mean, we're paying them to tow a vehicle that we need towed, if I understand it correctly.
You are correct. Some of those costs will be recovered, but not all.
Okay. Then just, that's it. I don't think I have anything else that's on the agenda. I've got stuff at the tail end though.
Okay.
So you can look forward to more.
We do look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anything on the agenda tonight? Come on up, state your name and address for the record. No? Okay. Mr. Hudson, usually he's our closer, but he's going to come up early tonight, make a statement.
Okay.
Don't touch
Too late. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Turn sideways.
It's okay.
Come on.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of informational questions. On the workshop agenda, the zone, item D3, the zone change request, is that a postal zone that refers to the Wanamassa post office that might be closed?
No.
No? What kind of zone is it?
It's a zoning change.
No, zoning.
It
Yeah,
says zone change.
yeah, that might have been a typo, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, fine. Question on resolution 15061, a refund of about $100,000 to Oakhurst Country Day Estates on Monmouth Road, where new housing is going to be built. Did you have any information as to the basis for the judgment?
Well, it was a tax appeal based
Well, it
on,
was a tax appeal, but did they give any specific reason that property is going to be developed shortly?
well, when it's developed, it'll be reassessed and revalued, but for now, I mean, the reason was they felt it was too high. They were over-assessed. What was
Okay.
there.
All right, and
It was
resolution...
a state appeal, incidentally.
Okay. Resolution 15058, transferring $278,000 from the sewer authority surplus to the township. Is that part of holding the municipal tax rate study as, is it dependent on the $278,000 transfer?
Well, we've included that. I don't know that we use it.
It's included
in
in
this
the
year's
revenue
budget.
source in the budget, yes.
Okay. Although we understand this is permissible under state law, has the council or has the township discussed the matter with the sewer authority in consideration whether they might do something more useful with the money?
We have had discussions with them, and this really, although this is the first year we've done this transfer,
Yeah.
over the last, I've been here 8 years, and probably 3 or 4 years before that, we have essentially assumed all their back office operations for the sewer authority. If you go
Oh,
into
but they're
their-
paying you for that.
They're paying us for it, and whether that reflects the true cost of those services or not, you could argue it either way. And this is really a continuation of that process that was started many years ago. And yes, we have discussed it with them. Matter of fact, we discussed it with them well over a year ago so that they were aware that this would be happening.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay. We're going to close the public portion. Make motion? No. So tonight we have on the consent agenda minutes for February 19th, 2015 workshop and public meeting, and resolutions 15049 through 15055. So will you please offer?
Offer.
Second? Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Before we go to the other resolution, I'm going to go into the introduction of ordinance number 2240. Will you please read the title? Can you please read the title, Dan?
In order to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limit and establish a cap bank in accordance with NJSA.
Great. This is our budget. Basically, this is just for the cap bank. So that's just an intro tonight. So someone please offer.
So offered.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. And we have no vouchers tonight, Mr. Geiger, sorry, but we have resolution 15056, authorizing consideration of bids for the following. A, towing service. Someone please offer.
So offered.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 15057, authorizing interlocal service agreement between the Township and the City of Long Branch for animal control services for 2015 at a cost not to exceed $58,000. Someone please offer.
So offered.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 15058, authorize the transfer of available surplus revenue collected by the Sewerage Authority. Somebody please offer.
So offered.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, 15059, authorize the execution of an escrow agreement with Investors Bank. Someone please offer.
So offered.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, the next one, 15060, before I get to that, I'm going to give you some budget overview. This is for the municipal budget introduction. So 2015, the budget was introduced at $34,677,627, which is an increase of $257,329 or 0.75% over 2014 budget. Incidentally, that's not by tax levy. So in other words, your tax levy portion of the budget, we're not raising taxes to support this budget. Just so you know, the operations over the last several months have made several adjustments to the budget, including cuts in appropriations for health insurance, purchase of vehicles, electric street lighting, motor fuels, and solid waste disposal. 2015 spending was introduced, includes a tax decrease for the average homeowner of about $7.41. And the average home right now is about $397,490. So you're actually going to see a decrease in your taxes if you're at that level. The 2015 budget includes funding for hiring of one additional police officer. So we're going to increase the sworn officers to 60, and each year we hope to do that, adding one more going forward. Also, the township's automated solid waste collection program continues to generate savings, as it's projected that the town will spend nearly $450,000 less in salary and wages in 2015 than it has spent under the other previous years from 2009 on. This is something that we put into place, again, like Deputy Mayor said, we weathered a storm, we had a financial storm, and so we implemented these policies several years ago. We're reaping the benefits of them now. So the automated garbage was one of them. And I know folks weren't sure about it, but now you're seeing $450,000 a year. That's real savings. So that's working out great. The township continues to evaluate the services it provides to taxpayers as we look at innovative ways to provide the same quality of services while reducing the associated cost. And our goal is to develop a more efficient, lower cost delivery system by increasing productivity, streamlining processes, and adopting shared services models where appropriate. So we're always looking for shared services, which we're doing with other towns, et cetera. The court itself from West Long Branch generates over $130,000 a year. So that was a big win for us as well. Our approach to employee health benefits. We started this a while back. I guess it was probably 05, 06. Employees were contributing about 9% of their health costs. Now it's up to 35%. So we've actually cut our costs. I remember at one time having over $1.2 million increase just in tax, just in health benefit for that year. Now we're down to under $100,000. So that's really worked out well for us as well. Also permanently financed $16.2 million in bond anticipation notes in 2014. So this has allowed the township to keep its debt service for 2015 relatively flat at $3 million versus $3 million appropriated in 2014. In addition, the township will be refinancing bonds issued through Monmouth County Improvement Authority and in early 2015 to secure lower interest rates and lower overall debt service costs. A budget presentation of the details of 2015 will be given March 18th, and the council meeting and public hearing on the budget is scheduled for April 2nd. Got that thing? That's so. 15060, approve the introduction of the 2015 municipal budget.
Municipal budget of the Township of Ocean for the fiscal year 2015. Be it resolved that the following statement of revenues and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget. Be it further resolved that said budget will be published in the Coaster on March 12th. And notice is hereby given that the tax resolution and budget was approved by the Township Council on March 4th, and a hearing of said budget will be held at the municipal building on April 2nd, 2015 at 7 p.m., at which time and place any objections to said budget and tax resolution for the year 2015 may be presented.
Great, thank you. Someone please offer.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 15061, authorize the tax collector to issue a refund credit to those taxpayers that have received a favorable state tax appeal judgment. Someone please offer.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Before adoption tonight, we have ordinance number 2239. Do you want to read the title?
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 21 of the revised comprehensive land development ordinance of the Township of Ocean.
So please open the public hearing on ordinance 2239.
Move to open the public hearing?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Councilmembers Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Anybody have anything on ordinance 2239? Please come on up. Seeing and hearing no one? So please close the public hearing on ordinance 2239.
Move to close the public hearing?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Councilmembers Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, action please on ordinance 2239.
Move to adopt ordinance 2239?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Councilmembers Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Okay, anybody from the public have anything, please come on up. John Geiger, state your name and address again for the record if you don't mind.
Thank you, and let's see, I'm still Don Geiger, and I still live at 1108 Grassmere. Actually, with the permission, I thought of one thing I'd like to ask, even though it's after the fact, on 15057, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Have we asked if any other towns that are adjacent to us could do a cheaper job?
Adjacent, we went 3 counties wide.
Oh,
Couldn't
okay.
find anybody.
Nobody wants to do this work.
Okay, just asking.
Yes, thank you. No, we looked into that. Same with the towing.
Okay, moving right on. Just some comments. Seaview Mall needs reminded to take care of their potholes. And in fact, that area that they repaved is already, whoa.
I was with them today, Don, incidentally, the owners of the mall, and they're having issues with their contractor. I know they had them on the phone while I was there, so they're aware of it as well, and it's, yes, they're taking care of that right now.
Okay, thank you. And also, I know I mentioned it because I think it might help. Some people think they have to come to a dead stop before making a right into, I'm just gonna call it Wegmans, because they're the 800-pound gorilla in that mall area. And suggested possibly curb cuts. And then I noticed also how there are particularly peak times, noon hour, and then 4:30 to maybe, or around about that time, how traffic exiting can really super back up because of Sunset and the junk handle. And I just said, hey, have you, the manager, have you ever thought about getting, can you get a part-time Class 2 officer? Because you don't want to tie up a Class 1 to help direct traffic. And they said, well, it'd be actually Stovola that would have to ask. Have you thought about approaching them about both those issues?
Well, we will discuss it with them. I don't know how far we'll get, but we'll talk to
Well,
them.
I realize that.
Yeah, I will. I will talk to them.
Okay.
The other thing to keep in mind too, we're gonna do the final phase of Sunset Avenue,
Right.
east side of the highway. That's already, funds have already been earmarked for that. We're eventually gonna get over to that other side of Sunset Avenue. So
Okay.
I think that may provide an opportunity to look
Bring that
at
up.
some of the driveways and some
Yeah.
of the traffic patterns on that side.
Because typically, if someone's in front of me and they're turning in, I go to the one closer to the pedestrian, because to me it's simple. But they'll come to almost, someone will come to a dead stop and then make their turn instead of just slowing, and it just impedes traffic flow.
You talking about coming in from 35?
If I'm on Sunset and I
Oh, on
just cross
Sunset, okay.
35 and I'm making the right instead of just slowing down and making the turn, some people in front just think that they have to stop because there's a car wanting to exit and they're hesitant.
Yeah.
Now, I actually have a question for our illustrious efficient clerk.
Where?
She retired.
I just wanted to check, when I reviewed the last bills list,
Yeah.
I just want to find out how the steak and lobster tails were at that conference you went to.
Steak will be in the spring, lobster was in the winter was good.
And now,
There's a hamburger and a cod sandwich. Surf and turf Vinny's.
I can't ignore our illustrious attorney, who will put Perry Mason to shame.
He was here.
And did you have to say, I want to bring it up, it's now a little bit dated, the article in the Asbury Park Press about in-house lawyers versus.
Oh, he was waiting for that.
Yeah,
He sent us a bill after that article, you know. So
I can believe this.
In-house versus us out-house lawyers?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yes, I did see that article.
And the outhouse lawyer used part of that newspaper to take care of things. But I've got a solution for us. We can just get Manny, Mo, and Curly.
That's it.
You know, take care of
That would do a
everything.
good job.
No, I'm just. And then, last but not least, if I'm correct, and I actually am wrong, once a year at least, if not more often. I remember from the earlier minutes, which I read, because Mr. and Mrs. Huston do a great job of posting them. I seem to remember you're making a comment, something like, new direction, different direction, Mr. Mayor. And I was wondering, could you maybe elaborate on some of your thoughts at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned them right away up front, but very first thing you saw was the cameras in the meeting room. So this is just to give you, if you're not going to make the meeting, you can watch this at home. We air 2 times a day, by the way, 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock. We made prime time because we're high in the ratings now. Channel 22 for Fios and 77 for Optimum. But that's just one more advantage folks can have. If they can't make a meeting, they can see what we've discussed. Just a little more open government to you. Secondly, of course, was working on the budget with Mr. Garofalo and I on that committee, and we've worked on that hard. And like he mentioned, it's not just a one-trick pony, not just stopping the tax levy this year. Going forward is what our goal is. So to try to do that as well. Helping the businesses, so my property tax reward program.
Yeah, I really like that, by the way.
That's an outstanding program that's going to give the business owners an opportunity to get more foot traffic. They sponsor the program, they're the ones ultimately that are going to give you the credit, but they'll get more foot traffic instead of someone buying a pizza in Neptune or buying that bagel over in Eatontown. They're going to stay here. Let's shop here. Let's get our haircut here. Let's get our dry cleaning here. Let's do all our services here. So you get a break on your property tax. You can lower your own property taxes just by shopping here, and they get more business. Win-win for everybody. So those 3 things, and then of course I have my coffee with the mayor sessions, which are very popular. I've gained about 10 pounds, I'll say that. As I boast, the coffee's on me and the donuts are on you. Well, these folks come in, they don't come empty-handed. They come in, baked goods, this cronut shop over here. Rich has broken in on me a few times. Yeah, he crashed a few.
I'm curious, what are they? What is the
one more we got, and plus the new agenda. Now the agenda's now on the website in advance, of course, so you'll have that available to you. So that and many more, but we're able to only do this because of the template left by Bill Larkin, believe it or not. He, like Bill said, you know, he guided us through very difficult times, I'll tell you that. And the policies that we put in place back then, we're able to reap the benefits of them now, such as the automated garbage, et cetera.
Now, the mayor also indicated, but apparently he only told me about his proposal for casual council meetings.
It's supposed to be on Thursday, Marty. Tonight is Wednesday.
I have a proposal that I received 24 hours advance notice of one meeting, so that I don't forget.
It's on the website.
I guess, when is the coffee with?
I'm sorry, thank you for that. I'll give it another shameless plug. They're Monday and Friday afternoons, 1 to 4. You'll find me up in the mayor's office.
Okay, thank you.
But you may want to call Adrian in advance because sometimes there's folks queued up waiting outside, and I don't like to keep anybody waiting too long.
So it's what, a one-on-one or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I like that.
Come on
By
in.
the way, come on now.
Not if you
And bring a donut.
bring a donut.
So I'll bring 2.
No, then you have to have one.
I'm not there. You and the mayor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else? 007.
Hello, son.
Well, you're gonna need to give your real name
Bond.
for the record.
James Bond.
Real name?
Mauer Mello, 46 Redwood Drive. One question about the snow that's coming tomorrow. You mentioned that you had met with Office of Emergency Management.
Yes.
Are you also going to use the CERT personnel if they're needed?
Oh, yeah.
Have they been?
Every resource available to us, almost every representative was at that meeting today. So we'll have CERT, we're gonna have OEM. Of course, you know, Mike's in contact.
If need be.
If need be.
We're still watching the storm because it could shift tracks a little bit.
But has CERT been put on, the members been put on alert that they may be called?
Not as of yet, no.
Oh, okay.
We don't have any plans opening up the EOC yet. We don't have any plans to really do anything. We're watching the storm and.
Well, depending on what station you listen to, It's anywhere from 4 inches
To
to
a
8
foot.
inches or even more.
Exactly.
So,
The last thing I got was 6 to 8 inches.
Yeah, I think we're in
Today
that
was
8-inch
8 to 10,
band.
so you don't know.
Like I said, I'm not here to speak for the school. I have a feeling they'll probably, Mr. Jim S. will be making a statement later, or calling people early in the morning to tell them not to come there,
if he hasn't already.
if he has. Anybody else?
Go get him.
Mr. Hudson, come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Finn Hudson, Horace Drive. Just one comment, the Public Works rescheduling for the collection
Aldrich.
tomorrow really ought to come a little bit sooner. I have just finished putting out our collection containers, especially since I'm going to the meeting tonight. And I came back in and I found out that despite the fact I had been checking the website during the afternoon, that there was no announcement. I assume that the major reason for Public Works rescheduling is to leave the streets clear for the plows, and also because you're using the crews and
We're probably going to use them, yes.
yeah. So
Mrs. Hudson couldn't have turned those cans in for you?
I did.
we put them out, I brought them back in. Anyway, I checked the website a couple times before, and we put them out around 4 o'clock, I guess. And about 15 minutes after we put them out, or Barbara put them out,
Even worse.
we got the telephone,
To Nixle,
we got the telephone call saying the collection was
suspended.
delayed, I presume, until Saturday. I'm not
Yes.
sure they said that. But
That's right, Saturday.
okay, but if they're gonna reschedule, they ought to try to do a little earlier. in the
They
day.
tried, Mr. Hudson, I mean, it was a challenge today. We had that meeting at 1 o'clock and it still was uncertain as to when the storm's gonna hit, what we're gonna get, how much, when to call crews in, you know, so
Yeah,
to make that call, they just weren't ready yet.
okay.
But I wish we could have.
Well, plus the pails aren't supposed to go out till 6.
6.
Is that right?
You're a nice guy.
I was out for my walk.
As an officer of the court, I might have to give you a violation.
I didn't know that. That's my first time I did that.
Anyone else? Come on up, state your name and address, Sid, for the record.
How are you? Sid Woolley, 122 Monmouth Road, Oakhurst. I have a couple different things. One is about the recycling center we built. When that was first presented with the one-arm bandit cans, I thought we were doing an overflow dumpster for house garbage.
There's a dumpster there for bulk waste.
No household.
No, we don't have one for house garbage there.
I think there would probably be a permitting issue if we tried to accept household garbage there.
Because I remember when it was first
There was a
presented.
thought of
we
doing
were-
that, right?
Yeah,
You're right.
you know, so like
Practicality.
when somebody has
Right.
parties, you could, you know, because you put a bag next to the can, they
won't
refuse to
take
pick
it.
it up. Yeah.
That's true.
There's those.
I think it's
Yeah,
unlikely
okay.
that there's going to be a
All right.
container up there for household garbage.
Okay, all right. Next question will be about Camp Cross Street. Safety fence was put up in November, half of it's down. Are they gonna finish cleaning up the property?
Yeah, Andrew,
I can make.
call them tomorrow if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they took down the building, that's great, you know, but, you know, I mean, you know, finish your job.
Yeah, anytime you see that, Sid, if you're nearby, call right away and we'll get somebody on it.
What's going on Monmouth Road, that there's signs put up?
We think that's to the bridge way down by the grist mill. That's a county project, of course.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if they were starting to paving or not.
No, that's gonna be, we're at a meeting recently about that, but it's not gonna be till later, so that pertains to that, they're gonna put a prefab right in
Okay,
there.
all right.
That's the West Long Branch Ocean border.
Okay, the last thing is, 8 months ago, I presented you guys with about 3 dozen pictures of my front sidewalks. I was told I was gonna get here from back, 8 months, no one's
Andrew, you
here.
have the
Well,
pictures, you remember that?
We met
I
outside.
do remember that.
What I do have an answer on is the wall, and obviously with.
No, that was it, that was the second one.
I know, and I
Well,
tried to
because-
call you a few times on that. I've called you at your house, and
There's
spoke
never
to someone
been-
at your house. I
never
did
got a
not
message
follow up
about
after that, but as soon as the weather cooperates, Fernandez will be back, and that's
No,
probably
but how about
one of
with
the
the
first things.
sidewalk itself, that you ripped up a perfectly good sidewalk?
Well, we haven't, I certainly understand what your feelings are on that, and we haven't gotten any, we haven't even done the certifications on that at this point, so we're still, I think when you were here, we told you it's about an 18-month process.
Yeah.
Before things are certified and bills are sent out.
Oh, that's what I wanted to know about a bill.
Right,
You know, I mean-
so they don't exist at this point because we're just not at that phase of the project.
Still a little soon.
Okay.
But when we get there, we're certainly going to have
Alright.
that discussion.
Well, with the wall discussion, actually, my postman doesn't even want to walk on my front steps. My steps are actually falling now. So it's not just the wall, now my steps are
Well,
falling.
it's probably better that we waited
Where
on.
it's becoming a safety issue.
And we fully
Yeah.
intend to repair that.
Yeah.
We talked about that,
Yeah,
and we know
that
what
whole,
the
yeah.
plan is.
Well, you were talking about the wall, but now the steps, all those stacking stones, I don't know when they maybe took out the sidewalk, undermined. And now, even like the two retaining walls that are on the side of the steps, the one on the right is actually coming apart. You can see the top is spreading.
We'll have
The
our,
whole-
we'll have
the
our
whole
engineer
front,
look
yeah.
at it for you, yeah.
Yeah, the whole front of the steps are
bad.
falling down where, I mean, it's a good pitch, yeah.
As soon as the weather breaks,
We'll have Greg go
we're
over.
Okay.
top of the list to get that.
One other quick thing.
You said
I
two.
don't know how I'm going into it. How would I present changing the speed limit on West Lincoln?
Okay. Goes through traffic. And it's not easy, but,
But it's the
by all-
same, it's the same
I'm
speed
with you.
limit at Monmouth Road.
I'm with you. I mean, lived there
You have a
55
county,
years.
you have a county road and a public, and a town road,
Yeah.
and they're the same speed limit.
But, we'll submit it to
Yeah.
traffic, have them look at it, and then, they do a study, and then they have an empirical process that they go through, and that's how they make the
I mean,
determination.
I've talked to pretty much everybody on West Lincoln,
Yeah.
all,
Oh, and the
and
neighbors?
all,
Okay.
they'll sign whatever I want them to sign.
Okay, I'll remember to
Yeah.
submit something to traffic for
You know,
you. And that's for
yeah,
that
especially
section,
before summer comes, because.
just between
Yeah.
Dow and, I'm
you know,
sorry,
it's
Will Pond and,
yeah. It's 35 in summer residents. I would say they hit a good 50.
see, now, everybody says that. My brother visits every summer, and he's a pretty good, he drives safe all the time. He never really goes over the speed limit, but I'll mention it to him when he comes.
Yeah.
I think he's the one they're talking about.
That's good. Anything else, Sid?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Anybody else? Another bite of the apple, come on up. You still have 2 minutes left on that timer.
No, I just, and I'm still Don Geiger, and I still live in 1108.
We're wondering if you moved since the last time you came up.
Definitely not. No, I just really want to say a big thank you publicly to the roads and grounds people. I call them up with my pothole report. It feels like every day, but it really
Yeah,
is.
no, I understand that.
Because I don't know how often they get feedback from, and one of the things, military experience was, better to tell someone twice than not tell someone at all. But I want to really, they're very gracious, and they thank me, and maybe when I hang up, they say, thank God he's done. No, I don't think so. I don't get that
No, I don't
attitude.
think so.
But they're very friendly and welcoming of my feedback and information. So I want to publicly acknowledge that.
Great.
Getting to particularly Sunset, when they start working on it, I would guess that the businesses that are going to be impacted, even though it's at night, 7-Eleven is 24 hours. Delicious Bagels opens, I think, at 5:30. I'm not sure when they'll wind up. They're going to get sufficient advance notice, I would guess.
Yeah, we've already been in communication with almost all the businesses down there.
Okay, just
So we'll keep that line
because
of communication.
for what it's worth, they're my favorite bagel place.
No, that's pretty good, thank you.
Thanks.
One other thing, I might add to this, Andrew and I did have a meeting with the county the other day, Joe Tour and a few others, and to discuss the Monmouth Road paving program, and while we were there, we took full advantage, since we had their ear, to revisit some of our traffic issues that we have in town. So we have reassurance there's going to be another study done on West Park, from stem to stern, basically, and then also revisiting the opening of Armstrong Boulevard, not with the jug handle, but at least just as an outlet from Twin Brook Apartments area, so they can make a left out of there and go northbound on 35. This will take the pressure off of West Park Avenue that they're using now. You know, you're spilling out people from 1,000 apartments out to West Park to go north. It's silly. So they're very into it. They've looked into it, and so we're going to have a study done on that as well. So hopefully that's one of the other items we're going to get checked off on our agenda here.
Okay.
Oh, one last thing. Both of you.
No, wait.
3 for 3. Pasalipo's Restaurant has a permit, demolition permit pulled for March 18th. Weather permitting, of course, but we finally got the permits through DOT, so that's a good thing. That'll be raised. And it's my belief they want to maybe rebuild there, you know, with proper setbacks, et cetera, and build a nice building, so we look forward to that.
Red.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't maybe get up that, in the paper, they talked about that being torn down at some point.
We need a
and-
permit.
Well, yeah, I know that, but they seem to be saying that they weren't going to do anything, they just,
Well, we'll find out. That's the talk now.
okay.
Anybody else have anything? Before I make a motion to adjourn, just to remind you that we did change our times for airing. You can see us every day at 10 o'clock a.m. and 7 p.m. on channel 22 if you have Files, 77 if you have Optimum. Please come and see us. Thank you for coming. Make a
And
motion
popcorn's on you.
And one thing as a reminder, our next council meeting is again going to be held on a Wednesday night. Mrs. Hudson, make sure you get that out in your newsletter. The
March
Next council
18th.
meeting.
March
18th. Okay, it's going to be a Wednesday, not a Thursday,
Okay,
okay?
and March 19th is moved.
What date is that, please?
18th, and wear a jacket and tie, Warren.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Councilmembers Evans.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepperton.
yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
David.